Orange. All right, we're ready to start. Just see courtroom. Oh, there they go. Courtroom 2. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. I am Judge Mincy, and I will be presiding today. This is going to be a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested and charged with certain misdemeanor offenses. Soon after their arrest, the Fulton County Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them, and the case has been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to handle certain matters such as bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one is being made by the state at this juncture. So, Miss Bridgewater, what's the SAP reset date?
Yes, Your Honor, it's going to be July the 9th.
Okay, so July 9th is our reset date. I want to begin by advising everyone that this whole entire proceeding is being recorded as well as live streamed on YouTube, so govern yourselves accordingly. I want to remind the defendants that you have certain constitutional rights. The first being that you have a right to representation. All of you should know who your attorneys are by now, and you should have spoken to them. So listen to your attorneys. You also have a right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, and the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. The state is here and they're listening. So again, listen to your attorneys. Who do we have first, deputies?
Position number 22, Mrs. Tyre.
Okay. This is 24 CR 004163C, Amber Tyler, charged with 1 count of battery, pretrial.
She got 19 total. 2023 probation. Got an open suspended license in Forest Park, open possession of marijuana, hit and run, obstruction, reckless driving, seatbelt violation. On probation, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, theft by taking, theft by receiving, possession of a firearm or knife during the commission, possession of marijuana. She got FTAs from last year, probation from last year, 2020 probation, 2019 FTA, 2014 and 15 FTA.
All right, state.
Good afternoon. This is a June 25th, 2024 incident date where Officer DJ Urban dispatched to the area of 1120 North Avenue, Northwest, which is City of Atlanta Public Works. Upon arrival, the officer met with Ms. Tyre about a physical altercation between herself and a coworker, Mr. Darius Bradford.
Hold on a second, ASG Williams. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we can only see about a third of you. We cannot see you at all. Yeah. If you could adjust your camera a little bit. Thank you. All right, that's better. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Okay.
She had an altercation with a coworker, Mr. Darius Bradford. She advised that she was assigned to work with both Mr. Bradford and a Mr. Frank Ward for work that day. She advised that she stepped away for a personal meeting, and Mr. Bradford and Mr. Ward were rushing her to return so they could continue on their trash routes. She advised upon return to the vehicle that Mr. Bradford said, "F you, bitch, F all of y'all," and that he was pushing her in the arm while calling her a bitch, and she pushed back. Miss Tyre stated she pushed Mr. Bradford away so that he would stop touching her. Excuse me. Miss Tyre also said that Mr. Bradford started punching her continuously in her face and head. Upon speaking with Mr. Bradford, however, he advised the officers that he slightly poked the defendant, Miss Tyre, because they were joking and did not expect it to be serious. He then said that she slapped him very hard in the face, and he in turn punched her back. Mr. Bradford also advised that he and Miss Tyre had started fighting each other and ended up outside of the vehicle. He stated he picked up a stick that is kept inside of the work truck and started hitting the ground with it. Miss Tyre, however, stated that that he struck her with the stick. Upon speaking with the witness, Mr. Ward, he advised that while he was driving, both were making verbal threats, began fighting each other inside of the City of Atlanta garbage truck. He said he did not know who had started the fight or if Mr. Ward had indeed hit Miss Tyre with a stick. Mr. Bradford had several scrapes and scratches on the right side of his face and a bloody laceration to the lower right side of his head as well. Both were charged in this incident, Your Honor. The state recommends a $2,500 good bond, no further contact with Darius Bradford. I'm not including a stay away, as I'm not sure if both still work for the City of Atlanta Public Works, but we are asking for no drugs, alcohol, or weapons in this case.
All right. PB Kim?
Yes, Your
Well, let
Honor.
me ask, hold on, let me make sure. Darius Bradford, well, he's a dual. Scratch that. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Miss Tyre, she was defending herself. I mean, Mr. Darius Bradford is a really, really big guy, 6'3". My client was completely beaten up by him. She has swollen eyes, and you can totally see swollen lips. It's kind of hard to see from the screen, but when I saw her this morning in person, it was very obvious that she was beaten up, Your Honor. And she's kind of shocked that she is also arrested and being in the jail when there were other witness at cowork. Her coworker is going to be fired. It seems like there was a mistake that she was actually arrested together. We would like to request for a signature bond through pretrial, Your Honor, and she is expecting to get her associate degree next month for business administration. Indeed, they're taking final exams right now, so she can complete her work by July 26, 2024. She's missing her work. She's missing her exam. This is causing a lot of stress. And she also has two minor children of her own, and she also take care of her younger brother who's only 12 years old. She has a full custody over him, and three minor children are desperately waiting for her to return home. We would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial. Thank you.
How old is she?
I believe she is 30, but I will double check, Your Honor. Yes. 32.
All right, due to her history, she has quite a bit of cycles. I will give her a $1,500 good bond. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or drugs while on bond. I'm going to order that she stay away and have no further contact with Mr. Darius Bradford. And I guess that's all I'll order at this time.
Your Honor, my client was not fired and she wants to continue her job. Just in case at work, I don't know what's gonna be as of
Yeah, I
now.
don't know how she's going to go back to that job. I guess we need to see what's going to happen with his case, but looks like they had a pretty intense, or the allegations are pretty intense about their fight. It wasn't just a hit and walk away. It's a lot going on there.
I know, Ms. Tyre, I saw
What
your hand up.
calendar is he on?
He actually
He's not on today's calendar.
he paid for his bond and got released. So,
Okay.
Ms. Tyre, you have a right to remain silent, and I strongly recommend you to stay silent.
No, that's a low bond, 1,500.
Since she has to return back to three minor children, can she have a signature on bond through pretrial level 3, Your Honor.
Does she have some open cases
I do not think so, Your Honor.
pre-trial, or didn't she have some open cases? Or state?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought she had some open cases.
Kim, you wasn't listening?
I was listening, but open case does not mean that she is guilty. She is presumed
No,
to be
I ain't say she
innocent.
was guilty. The judge just asked if she had open cases.
Um,
And you said you didn't know.
She
I
has
mean,
19 cycles. I don't know if she has an active warrant or not, if she's wanted, but she had open cases, right?
the open is the driving. She's on probation for stuff, but the open is the driving.
all
Okay.
those are traffic tickets, Your Honor. It's not violence related.
All right. I'm gonna go with the $1,500 good bond. It's a low bond.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, you going with a good, I was gonna say you could level 3 it. Have a
If we
report once a
level
week.
3 it
Have a
Yes,
report once a week.
once a week.
right idea.
All right, PD Kim. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
go back on it. So let me make it a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, level 3.
Is she staying away from the incident location?
Well, that's work. That's the terrible part. No, I don't know where did this happen, in the street somewhere, or not on the, well, she was on the job. You know, I didn't do a stay away because I don't know where that would be, to stay away from the one of the stops on the route. I don't know. So I didn't do a stay away. But I'm going to I'm going to make it a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial, level 3. And I wanted to take a 2-day anger awareness course. And again, stay away from Mr. Darius Bradford. And if that means she will have to do some other type work or do something different, I still want her to stay away from him. They, you know, they don't need to be near each other. This just happened a few days ago. So she's got to figure out how to do that, be 200 yards away from him. So, and her hand has been up consistently. I don't know, PD Kim, do we want to know what a quick question is or not?
Call me, Ms. Tyre, if you have any question. I don't want you to incriminate your case by stating any facts of the case.
I won't incriminate anything. It did happen at our location. And the head of security actually wrote a statement as well. I don't know why it wasn't entered, but she saw the
This
whole.
is not your trial. This
I
is not
know,
your,
but I wasn't fired. He was fired. He was criminal trespass away from the property per our installation chief. I was not fired. He was placed on an
okay, well, but I haven't said for you to stay away from work. So go back there. As long as you stay away from him. Okay? Okay? So I'm giving you a lot of grace today. They're making me change my ruling and everything. So I didn't say stay away from work, okay?
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, just stay away. If you see Mr. Bradford, I need you to go the other way,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that could cause you to get rearrested. So 200 yards is 2 football fields away from him. They have no contact through third parties. Don't post nothing on social media about him or this case, and you'll stay out of Fulton County Jail.
Yes, ma'am.
And you got that 2-day anger awareness course. Pre-trial will tell you about it, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, next case.
Position 18, Miss Lewis.
This is 24 CR 004159E. Cornesia Lewis, charged of 1 count of battery, family violence. Hold on 1 second. Miss Levita Mohammed, can you mute yourself? Thank you. All right.
Third arrest, 2023 suspended license, 2022 ag assault, appears to be open out of Clayton County.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this is a June 25th of 2024 incident date where Officer Muhammad And SPO Richardson responded to a domestic dispute call in the area of 2101 Southwood Boulevard, Southwest, apartment 708. Upon arrival, they met with the victim, Miss Latrina McCrary. Miss McCrary had visible scratches and bruises on her upper chest area, her left arm, and her neck. Miss McCrary advised that she was arguing with her girlfriend, the defendant, Miss Cornecia Lewis, and Miss McCrary stated that Miss Lewis believed she was cheating on her and began to strike her in the face repeatedly with her hand. Miss McCrary stated that she began to fight Miss Lewis back before calling 911. Miss Lewis also had visible injuries on her neck, leg, and hands. She stated that the argument started because she was hot and moved a fan in the room to blow the cool air on herself. And Miss McCrary became upset, telling her not to touch the fan. She stated that Miss McCrary began to strike her in the face repeatedly, and she fought back to protect herself, leading to both of the parties having injuries. Both refused EMS. And they do live together in the same household. There were no witnesses or recorded footage of this, Your Honor. However, Miss Lewis does have an open ag assault case from 2022 in Clayton County. The state recommends $2,500 good bond, no further contact with Latrina McCrary, FVIP, and a stay away from the incident location, Your Honor.
All right. This is Ms. McLeod, Attorney McLeod.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
Good.
I would ask the court to consider a signature bond for my client. She is presumed innocent here. She certainly tells me she was not the primary aggressor. With regard to her arrest in Clayton County, she has not been found guilty of anything, so she naturally is presumed innocent. This was a dual arrest. I believe the report said both of them appeared to have injuries on them, Your Honor. And my client's contention is that she was not the primary aggressor. So I would ask the court for a signature bond for her. She's okay with no further contact with the alleged victim.
Does she work or anything?
Yes, Your Honor, she is employed. She works at a restaurant.
All right, I will. I think that's Mr. Cook who's not muted either. I'm getting feedback from somewhere. Although he's not on. Thank you, Mr. Cook. All right. Third arrest with an open ag assault. There's some issues going on here.
One of the arrests, Your Honor, was traffic related.
On the 2022 case?
I believe I heard pretrial say that one of her arrests was for a suspended license.
The open ag assault?
No, Your Honor. She had two previous arrests, one of which I was saying was traffic related. It was a suspended license and
No, I'm
speeding.
talking a pretrial. They don't want to hear you today talk about
2023 suspended license, 2022 open ag assault.
that's what I'm talking about. Not talking about driving offenses. I don't usually hold those against people.
I understand, Your Honor, but that's just an accusation. She's just certainly not been found guilty of anything.
All right, I will. What level would you take her at pretrial?
That's up to you. They put on there level 3 if you give it to her, but it's on you.
All right. Let me do a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. Level 3. Wanted to take a 2-day anger awareness course. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. and to stay away from 2102 Southwood Boulevard, stay away from that complex. And no further contact with the victim, Latrina McCrary.
And Your Honor, the state would just like to place on the record that we do object to a signature bond in this case, especially with that open ag assault, as we were not able to determine whether the victim is the same victim in this case. We could not get that information from Clayton County at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and remind her too, McLeod, don't get rearrested.
I
Coming off the
understand
burn.
that. I will most certainly remind her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. That should do it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next case.
We go to position number 5, Ms. Blackwell.
Is it possible to take the the cold case when the facts still in my head? But if not, I won't make you go out of order. But this was a dual arrest with McCrary.
Yes, Your Honor. I represent Ms. McCrary. I
Yes.
believe that Fulton ACDC.
Where's Miss McCrary?
That's, the dual arrest after this one, Your Honor.
Yes. Okay. All right. And this is position which one?
5.
5. Okay. This is 24 CR 0041111B. Shanita Blackwell, charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. Pretrial
50.
50. Okay.
Last arrest was in May. Trespass, it was dismissed. On probation for ag assault out of Superior Court. Appears to have an open assault out of Birmingham. Couple of probation violations from last year, 2015 FTA, 2013 criminal damage to property conviction.
All right.
Your Honor, this
State.
is June 24th of 2024 arrest, where Officer Lawson was dispatched to 351 Hill Street Southeast regarding a criminal trespass. When he arrived on the scene, he was approached by Deputy Lee and a Miss Maya Hunt. Deputy Lee advised that the defendant, Miss Blackwell, was previously criminally trespassed from the location earlier that day. And APD Officer Colbin did that case number 241761058. Later that afternoon, Miss Hunt advised that the female returned to the residence and observed her attempting to use the water hose to bathe. Ms. Hunt was able to take pictures of the defendant at the location. Excuse me, Your Honor. And that information was sent in. She was walking at the time up Hill Street. She had left the location, and Officer Lawson was able to locate her, identified her, and was able to detain her at the time. The state recommends a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Maya Hunt, a stay away from the incident location, and no drug, alcohol, or weapons.
All right. Who represents Miss Blackwell?
I am.
I'm sorry?
I am.
Go on, pro se, Your Honor.
She's pro se.
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is that?
That's-
Guilty is every charge y'all say I'm guilty. I just
So does she need a conflict defender?
Your Honor,
She
PD Cook has been trying to represent her. However, she has been refusing from yesterday, today. We've tried.
Okay.
She
just wanted to know.
insists on doing it pro se, Your Honor. I spoke to her briefly. She isn't real cooperative with attorneys, but she wants to do it pro se.
Do we have an MH issue at all? Do you know that, Mr. Cook, since you spoke with her?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Do we have an MH issue?
I don't think so, Your Honor. I really don't. I found her fairly lucid. She seems to know what she's facing, and I think she has some charges.
I want that cup of water.
All right, thank you, PD Cook. Ms. Blackwell, do you intend to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the consequences of representing yourself and knowing the laws of the state of Georgia, right?
Yes.
All right, this is just a bond hearing. This is not your trial or sentencing, okay?
Yes.
All right. After listening to everything, how old are you?
61.
60?
61.
Oh, 61. Do you have any housing issues or problems with that?
I need my ID since I've been here.
No, that wasn't my question.
No, I don't know. No, I don't have. No, I don't have no.
You have an address and somewhere to
Yeah,
live?
under the stars, under the moon and under the stars.
So you don't have an address or somewhere to live. How do I know you're going to return to court and get your court notice?
I don't want to get out.
Because you don't have anywhere to stay?
I don't want to get out.
Do you have any relatives here in Atlanta? Do you have any relatives?
No.
Do you have any children?
No.
Okay. So if you were to get out today, where would you go stay? How could we find you?
No, I'm not trying to get out.
All right. I'm going to order $2,000. Hold on. I'm going to order a $2,000 surety bond. I'm going to order stay away from that 351 Hill Street, Southeast. And no further contact with the victim. Her name was Maya, and what was the last name?
Hunt.
Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And who is that? That's the person at the location?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. No further contact with the victim in this case, Ms. Blackwell, which is Ms. Maya Hunt. And if you go back to Hill Street, go back over there. If you make bond and get out, you'll be arrested again, okay?
Okay,
And
nowhere on Hill Street can I go?
I'm sorry?
Nowhere on Hill Street. That ain't even their apartment. It's a cat hole.
Yeah, but I don't want you to go back over there. They don't
That's
want you.
what I'm saying. I can't go over Hill Street, period.
Nope.
So
No.
I'm far from the whole Hill Street, right?
Yeah, let's borrow you from that area.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can't go over there.
Mhm. So I
And
can't
no
go to Grady.
drugs.
So I can't go to Grady Hospital, right?
Yes, you can go to Grady Hospital.
There's a lot of stuff over there.
Okay, what's the apartment complex? That apartment complex.
Yes.
Stay away from there. I don't know the name of it. Do you know the name of it?
No, it's just a cat hole.
Okay. Well, stay away from that immediate area of where you were when you were arrested. And I don't have the name of that apartment complex, but I'm sure it has some kind of name.
No, you don't. Cause there ain't no but a cat hole.
Okay, well, don't go over there. It doesn't sound like a good place anyway, okay? So
Okay.
there's a $2,000 surety bond. And no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns or knives or anything while you're on bond.
I wasn't on no alcohol and I ain't had no gun.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Your Honor, ACDC has not returned with the dual arrest, so can we just go to position 14, Mr. Ingram?
That's fine. This is position 14, 24 CR 004157E, Ricky Ingram, charged with 1 count of battery family violence. Is this Mr. Ingram?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Pre-trial.
23, 24 probation. On probation for burglary. 2021 probation, 2019 FTA, 2016 probation. And he got an old armed robbery conviction from the early 2000s.
All
I'm
right.
also showing he has a 2019 shoplifting conviction and 2016 theft by receiving.
In Georgia?
Yes. Pre-trial, do you have that?
I didn't note it if he does have it.
Your Honor, this
Okay.
incident took place on the 25th of June this year in the Southampton Estates located at 3110 Godby Road, Unit 20G, regarding a dispute. There were two witnesses, Christian Herndon and Lakeisha Moore, who actually called the police. They said they were asleep upstairs when they heard a commotion. They came downstairs and saw the defendant beating the victim, whose name is Andrea Tabb. The victim had swelling and bruising on both sides of her face, a busted lip, and there were clothes on the floor that had blood on them. Essentially, the argument started because the defendant asked the victim where his phone was, and she didn't know, so he started beating her up. He does have an extensive criminal history, Your Honor. The state's requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, a family violence intervention program, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if you could sound for Miss Tabb.
All right, Miss Tabb, are you on Zoom? Miss Tabb. Andrea Tabb. All right. Miss McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 62 years old. I heard pre-trial say that he had history, but I don't believe any of the history that I heard was violent history, Your Honor. I didn't hear any family violence or any aggravated assaults or anything of that nature. My client is disabled. He tells me that he only has one leg. As you can see, he's in a wheelchair. He does not work, of course, because of his disability. So he has very, very limited funds. He would not be able to post a surety bond. So I would ask the court to take that into consideration and give him a signature bond so he can get out of jail. He tells me that if the court orders that he cannot go back to the location or cannot have any further contact with Miss Tabb, that he's fine with both of that, because he tells me that he has some other relatives that he could possibly stay with. But I would request a signature bond for him, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Does he live at this location?
He does
He
live
does.
there. He tells me it's his sister's place.
And Your Honor, I didn't mention this. We have been in touch with the victim. She did say that she and the defendant were in a relationship several years ago. She stated that her niece is their caretaker, so she had them move upstairs in her home. The victim and the defendant have been the defendant rather has been trying to get back together with her and waking her up from her sleep, touching her. She said when they were in a relationship, he was very abusive to her. She's afraid of him. She said he gets very aggressive when he's drinking and she wants no contact. And she said he'll need a one-time police escort.
Well, he seems to get around pretty well. Whether he has, I don't know if he has a prosthetic or this wheelchair, but he's been doing a lot, or accused of doing a lot anyway.
Yeah, that's right, accused.
Please don't say anything.
Y'all know who I speak.
Mr. Ingram, I would advise you not to say anything. You have the right to remain silent. I am your attorney. I can speak on your behalf, and I do not want you to discuss any of the facts concerning your case right now. This is not a trial. It's simply a bond hearing.
All right, I'm going to order a $1,500 surety bond. And with that surety bond, I'm going to have him to stay away from this Southampton Estates address on Godby Road. He needs to find another place to live. I will give him a one-time police escort to go back to get his belongings once he makes bond. I will also order no drugs, no alcohol, no weapons, no guns while on bond. No further contact with the victim, Andrea Tab. So that means you can't call her, you can't email her, you can't have other people to contact her, Mr. Ingram. And stay 200 yards away from her while you find somewhere else to live. And that's all our order for now.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Next, we go to position number 11, Mr. Grace.
This is 24 CR 0041114Y, Gary Grace. Charge it 1 count of simple battery, 2nd count of simple assault. Pre-trial.
14, 2021, 2022 probation, 2017 and 18 probation, 2017 disorderly conduct conviction, 2015 FTA and probation. That's it.
Okay, state.
Your Honor, June 24th of 2024 incident date where Officer Whopper was dispatched to 588 James P. Brawley Drive. Upon arrival, he spoke with Miss Nicola Riley, who stated that earlier in the day that the defendant, Mr. Grace, gave her a bag and a puppy to sell to make some money. Miss Riley stated she accidentally lost the bag, and she advised him that she would pay him $20 for it. Later that night, the defendant approached her with what the victim thought was a silver gun, pointing it to her head, saying, "I swear if you don't give me my money." He then pushed her walker over and kicked the dog. Victim advised that she was scared for her life. And when speaking with the defendant, that Miss Riley lost his bag with the dog in it and promised that she would pay him $20. And she refused to pay. So he stated he pulled out a silver staple gun as a pump fake to get his money. The officer tried to initially arrest the defendant, but he refused to get in the patrol car and resisted arrest, then fled the scene. He was later extracted from a bush. The state recommends a total $2,000 good bond, split $1,000 on each charge, stay away from the incident location, and no further contact with Nicola Riley.
Okay, whose case is this?
This is my
Who's
case.
the Okay.
I'm sorry. Your Honor, my client is 35 years old. He's lived most of his life in Georgia. He works in construction, high school graduate. Given the nature of the charges, and they're just allegations, he would have no problem, or we would not object to a no further contact. We wouldn't object to a stay away, but his funds are limited. He does work in construction, but is a freelancer and does not make that much money. So we would be asking for a signature bond through pretrial at whatever level the court deems appropriate.
All right, I will order the $2,000 surety bond, 1,000 on each charge. With that surety bond, stay away from the 588 James P. Brawley Drive. I assume that is the address for the victim, Miss Nicola Riley. State if you could make sure of that. No further contact with Miss Nicola Riley. By any means, stay 200 yards away from her. If Mr. Grace has any guns or weapons, he needs to turn them over to the sheriff's department immediately. No drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. And that's all I'll order at this time.
Your Honor, he lives as well on James P. Brawley Street, probably within the 200-yard limit. He's at 596. I think she's at 588 or close by. So, I mean, he could certainly avoid contact, but I don't know that he could actually stay 200 yards away since their apartments are that close or their homes.
Hey, do you have a recommendation?
I would ask that they stay at least 200 yards away. Her address is the 586 James P. Brawley Drive.
586 or 588?
Let's see. So the report has 588, but in victim's information, the narrative has 588, but the victim's information shows 586.
They may be just in the same building, maybe.
Where's the defendant's?
596, 596. Well, I'm gonna tell you, try to stay 199 yards away, as far away as you can, Mr. Grace. If you make bond and you're walking down the street and you see the victim, Miss Riley, you need to turn and go the other way and let her not see you. But I'm going to keep the order as it is with the 200 yards and do your best with it. Because I don't, I don't like the facts and what the allegations are. So I'll need you to make sure that you're the farthest away that you can be from Miss Riley if you make bond. All right, that's it.
Your Honor, we can go to ACDC.
All right. ACDC.
You call me, Your Honor?
Yes. I think we had, who do we have the
Position
dual arrest
19,
there?
position 19, Ms. McCrary.
Yes. All right, this is 24 CR 004160G. Latrina McQuarrie, charge of 1 count of battery family violence. Pre-trial.
It's McCray.
Oh,
McCrary.
I'm sorry, McCray. I'm sorry, McCray.
McCrary.
Prairie.
Yes,
It's which one?
McCrary.
It has it is an R, McCrary.
Yes.
Okay,
All right, let me
go ahead,
write that down.
pre-trial.
It's a first.
Yeah. First, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're with Miss
Miss
Cornesia.
Williams, ASG Williams, your connection is not that great for some reason. It's been going in and out. I just haven't mentioned it. And when you started, I got your second and third word, but not your first word.
Okay, I've been having some technical issues this week, Your Honor.
Okay,
Hear me right now?
I can.
Okay, Your Honor, this is the dual arrest with Miss Cornesia Lewis at 2101 Southwood Boulevard, Southwest, Department 708. This is where the officer met initially with Miss Latrina McCrary, who had visible scratches and bruises on her upper chest area, her left arm, and her neck, where she advised that she was arguing with Miss Cornelia Lewis because Miss Lewis believed that she was cheating on her and began to strike her in the face repeatedly with her hand. And she advised that she began to scratch back. Again, Miss Lewis advised that Miss McCrary became upset, telling her to not touch the fan. She touched the fan and then struck her in the face repeatedly. Again, this was a dual arrest. The state in this case recommends a $2,000 good bond, no further contact with Cornesia Lewis, completion of an FVIP, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. We did not ask for the stay away. In this case, Your Honor, she does not have any history, and Miss Lewis was ordered to stay away from the location.
All right. PD Kim, you're on mute.
Here.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 25 years old, unlike Miss Lewis, who had open ag assault case from 2022. My client has no history whatsoever. This is her first arrest. And Your Honor, she was attacked and she denies the allegation. She was not the first aggressor. And she does not want to have any contact with Miss Lewis anymore. The place is in her name, so she should be going back to home. We would like to request for signature on bond through a pretrial level 1 or even signature on bond through jail. Your Honor, she has a high school diploma. She was born and raised here in Georgia. She has not had any job for the last 3 months, so she's financially struggling. She does have a side hustle jobs to make the means. However, she has no savings to pay for any bond, so we would like to request for a signature on bond. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm gonna order a $2,500 signature bond and I will order that signature bond through the jail. I will order no further contact with the victim for Necia Lewis. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Next we go to position number 12, Mr. Graham.
All right. This is 24 CR 0004155F. And this is Tony Graham, charged at 1 count of criminal trespass. Retrial.
Third arrest, 2020 simple assault, 2 counts. Criminal damage to property. 2017 suspended license, no conviction. Jail was a recommendation.
Okay.
Judge, this incident took place June 25th, 24 at the Hampton Inn Suites Buckhead Palace at 3312 Piedmont Road. Officers responded to a trespass call. Essentially, the defendant was refusing to leave the property. He's been asked several times by staff members, and he started acting erratically. He was trespassed from this property back in February. The state's asking for an SOB through pretrial, a stay away from the hotel, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right. Who's defending Mr. Graham?
This,
Oh,
my-
PD Cook.
yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, we have no objection to most of the recommendations from the state. Certainly have no objection to the stay away or no further contact with anyone. He is homeless. He's going, that makes it very difficult to comply with SOB level 1, 2, or 3, 4. We would be asking for the signature bond to be through the jail.
Well, how's he gonna get notices? You all have phone number or something to keep in contact?
I
PD
haven't.
Cook.
I know. I heard you. I have a email address, and that's all at this moment, Your Honor. He may be able to supply more when he gets his things back from the jail.
Okay. All right, I will order a $2,500 signature bond through the jail. And I'm making it a little higher so that hopefully Mr. Graham will, you all will have your social workers work with him for his housing challenges
What
and
was
to
that amount?
assist him. 2,500 signature bond through the jail. And stay away from the Hampton Inn Suites. Cannot go back there, Mr. Graham. They don't want you there. And I don't believe there was a victim, was it, ASG?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mhm.
Next, we will go to position number 1, Mr. Arnold Anthony.
This is 24 CR 004143Y. Anthony Arnold, charged with 1 count of battery, pretrial.
I got first arrest.
Okay. Date,
Judge, this incident took place on June 23rd, 2024. Officers responded to a dispute call at 4019 Fox Hunt Lane, Southwest and East Point. The caller was the defendant's mother, who babysits the victim, who's a child, who's 11 years old, juvenile initials TM. The defendant stated that he and the victim were in a dispute because the child would not leave his belongings alone. The dispute started escalating. The juvenile was taunting him and possibly using profanity toward him. And the defendant slapped him across the face, and it left a red mark on his cheek. Our office has been in touch with the victim's mother. Her name is Toria Morris. She states that the defendant's mother is a good friend of hers. They have known each other for years, and she has been babysitting her son since he was 3 years old. She states that the defendant is a good kid. She's never had any issues with him. And she does not want to press charges and wants to continue contact. The state is recommending a $2,000 surety bond, no further violent contact with the victim, 2 days of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for the victim's mother, Toria Morris.
I'm here.
Toria Morris. All right. Ms. Morris, I'll take some limited testimony from you. I know that the victim is a juvenile. Do you wish to address the court briefly today? This is not a trial.
Sure. I like she said,
Hold
I've
on a
been
second.
friends.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I'm going to swear you in first. Raise your right hand for me. Do you affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, nothing but the truth, under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, I don't really want to hear the facts of what happened. Put your hand down. Let me ask you, the first question, is your son in fear of Mr. Arnold?
No.
All right. Do you want your son, obviously probably not, to have any contact with Mr. Arnold?
He can continue contact with AJ. It's fine.
Okay. All right. And we won't say his name. We use the initials TM. Is that your son?
Yes.
Okay. He's a minor, so we don't want to say his name. Okay. Those are the only questions I need you to answer. Any cross-examination by the state?
No.
Okay. All right. And this is PD Cook's case?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Morris. You can mute yourself and finish to hear my ruling. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Cook.
Your Honor, this is my client's first arrest. He's 21 years old. You heard the statements from the alleged victim's mother. We would be seeking a signature bond through the jail. He doesn't live at the location. He lives actually not too far away in East Point with his aunts. This occurred at his mother's home. But apparently the victim's mother has no problem with contact. So I'll leave that up to the court, but we would be seeking again a signature bond through the jail. And we would object to anger management classes at this point. This seems to be an aberrant, just a one-time aberration here.
Okay. I am concerned about the facts as a juvenile and a person, the allegation slapping him across the face. And I believe I understand that the defendant is the babysitter for the victim. Is that correct?
No,
No,
the
Your Honor.
defendant's mother is the
It's
babysitter.
it's the defendant's mother. But I believe he
Defendant's
lives
mother.
with his mother. and the mother has the child at her house.
Do you have somewhere else, Ms. Morris, for your child to go while the defendant is on bond?
Yeah, my child lives with me. He was just with
I
them
know he
for the
lives
weekend
with
to have
you.
Six Flags. So
Okay.
yes,
Well, I didn't know if this was a daily babysitting for the summer
no.
situation. Okay. All right. All right. I will grant a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order no further contact with the victim right now. Looks like this just happened. I want to make sure that there's been the ample cooling down. So, Ms. Morris, please find somewhere else for your child to go, or make sure that it does not go around, or that Mr. Arnold is not around your child right now while he's on bond, till we can cool this down and sort out the facts. So there's no further contact with the victim, TM. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that should do it.
Next, we will go to position number
All right,
2.
thank you.
Mr.
Can I hang
Brady.
up?
Yes, you can hang up. Thank you.
Mhm.
This is 24 CR 004144J Brandon Becker. Charged with 1 count of harassing communications, 2nd count of stalking. Pre-trial.
6, 2019 suspended license, 2014 reckless conduct conviction.
Your Honor,
State.
this is also, he has 2 cases, positions 2 and positions 3. They're
Oh,
2
okay, I
separate
didn't
incidents.
notice. Oh, I will call both cases. And they're the same victims?
Different victims.
Different victims? Well, I'll call the second one if you want, so that we can hear them both back to back. Second
Please,
case is
thank you.
24 CR 004145J. Brandon Becker's charged with 1 count of harassing communications, 2nd count of stalking. That's June the 9th of 2024. First case is 3/11/2024. All right, go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll go in order. So starting with position 2, this incident took place over the course of several months, starting in March of 2024 to May 15th of 2024. The victim, Giovanna Soto, made a police report regarding her ex-boyfriend. She told the police that she was in a brief relationship with the defendant. They broke up, and since then, he's been calling and texting her nonstop. After she made the police report on March 11th, she sent a picture of the case number and like the business card from the police to the defendant, so he was aware that she's made a report about it. And after she made that police report on March 13th, he continued calling and texting her nonstop. Then an officer actually spoke to him on March 20th from Alpharetta PD. Basically told her, like, listen, man, this girl wants nothing to do with you. Leave her alone. He told the police that he would stop at that time. And then the text messages started again around March 28th. He was sending the victim texts and calling from various numbers. Then he started texting her from his regular phone on April 3rd, and then it continued into May. Our office has been in touch with Ms. Soto. She states that she has a brief statement, Judge. I'll read it. She says, "My name's Giovanna Soto. I want to address how the harassment by Brandon Becker has impacted my life. I met him while working at the Blue Pearl Animal Hospital in the summer of July 2021. Our relationship was work-related, and we started dating the following months. Our relationship was on and off for 3 years. His consistent lack of boundaries and gradually becoming emotionally abusive and his continued harassment by contacting me has irreversibly changed my life. Emotionally, I've been dealing with intense anxiety, fear, depression. I'm constantly looking over my shoulder whenever I'm outside of my house. I suffer from panic attacks and insomnia. I've talked to a therapist to help cope with these overwhelming emotions, but the journey to recover feels never ending. Brandon Becker's behavior has forced me to make drastic changes in my life. I've had to change my work schedule, avoid any and all places I used to go due to fear of him being there. My relationships with my family and friends have been strained as I struggle to manage the emotional aftermath. Looking to the future, I'm worried about the long-term effects of my mental and emotional well-being. The fear and anxiety linger, and I'm unsure if I will ever truly feel safe again. In conclusion, I respectfully ask that Brandon Becker stays away from me at all costs. Her address is 4275 Leeward Run Drive, Alpharetta. She wants to stay away from that location. I seek justice, and I hope no one else has to endure the pain and suffering I've experienced. And with that, Judge, the state is requesting a $5,000 surety bond in this case. That's $2,500 on each count. No further contact whatsoever by any means, text messaging, calls, looking in her direction, nothing with Miss Soto. A stay away from her residence at 5275 Leeward Run Drive in Alpharetta. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I believe Miss Soto is on the Zoom. And Your Honor, do you want to hear from her now, or do you want me to go into the other case and we can hear from both
Well,
of them?
we read a long statement from her. I can't imagine she has anything else to add. Ms. Soto, are you on the Zoom? I think she's trying to, is that Gia's iPhone?
Yeah, I think that's her.
Ms. Soto. Well, she can't get her equipment working, and that's fine. I just want her to know I'm not ignoring her and I'm not disallowing her to speak, but I don't think I need to hear anymore. That was a very well-written victim statement that was read by the state. So I do understand the impact that the case has had on her as a victim. So we'll keep moving forward.
Okay, Your Honor. And then the second case, very similar. This started in March of 2024. However, the incident date for purposes of the harassing communications is June 9th and June 10th. A different victim, Chelsea Clark, contacted the police because she was receiving several text messages from her ex-boyfriend. She states that she and the defendant used to work together. They dated briefly. She dumped him, and now he won't leave her alone. On March 14th, she got a text from a number that she did not recognize. It said, "In due time, you worthless piece of molested, fat, nasty piece of shit." The victim responded to that message and said, "You make me sick, Brandon," and there was no response. Then June 9th, she received a text from the defendant saying, "Funky, fat ass, nasty bitch." And she responded, "Do not contact me again." Then on the 10th, after she sent that message, he said, "You took everything away from me, bitch." And she again responded, "Do not contact me again." So in both of these cases, Your Honor, he was using multiple phone numbers, and the police have determined that they're the same numbers. They've linked them to the defendant. And even after the police got involved in this case, Your Honor, he was sending text messages as late as the 14th of this month and the 15th of this month, and they're long. I will summarize them, but basically, "You effed up everything to me due to your selfishness. You took my best friend away from me. I will make sure you get a great going away present before you move out of town. You nasty, fat, overweight, uncomfortable, worthless, fat, musty bee. I effing hate you. I wish you're," I mean, it goes on and on and on, Your Honor. He sent 8 messages on the 14th. Anyway, Your Honor, he's very aware that he is not supposed to be contacting Miss Clark. Our office has been in touch with her. She states that she's known for the defendant for approximately 3 years. They used to work together. She never had any issues with this defendant prior to the harassment, and she's saying that these calls just continuing happening. She wants a no contact and a stay away from her residence, which is 2406 Sandalwood Drive. Your Honor, again, the state's requesting a $5,000 surety bond in this case, $2,500 on each count. No further contact whatsoever with Ms. Clark. Stay away from her residence, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I believe Ms. Clark is on the line, if we can sound for her.
All right, Chelsea Clark.
I did not want to say anything at this
Okay,
time.
thank you for being on. Thank you. All right. PD, who's representing?
That's the Your Honor, Keith Cook.
Okay.
Your Honor, we obviously have no objection to any stay away or no further contact. We believe the 5,000 surety is excessive and would be really out of his range as far as payment, considering that that's been requested on two separate cases. We would ask for a much smaller bond than that, but other than that, would leave that up to the court's discretion.
Okay. All right, for the first case, with the victim of Giovanna Soto, I'm gonna order the $5,000 surety bond, 2,500 on each count. No further contact with the victim, Giovanna Soto. Stay away from her residence, but more importantly, stay 200 yards away from her or more. Don't contact her by any means. No cell phone, no emails, no third parties. And we mean that, Mr. Becker, or else you'll be right back here in the Fulton County Jail if you make bond to begin with. And so we need you to stop this conduct, stop contacting exes and all of that. So that's 5,000 surety bond, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. No further contact with Ms. Soto. On the second case, $5,000 surety, 2,500 on each. And again, no further contact with Chelsea Clark. Stay 200 yards or more away from her. And if she even sees you in her purview or around her, she will know to call the Fulton County Police immediately, have you rearrested. Don't contact her by emails, cell phones, or anything, or any third parties. Stay away from her residence as well. I think it was 2406 Sandal Creek?
Sandalwood Drive.
Sandalwood Drive. Do not go near there, else you'll be arrested. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. That's it for both cases. What do we have next, deputies?
Position number 4, Mr. Bennett.
This is 24 CR 004151A. David Bennett, charged at 1 count discharging a firearm on and near public highway or street. Pretrial.
6, 2015 false report of a crime, 07 false report of a crime.
Judge, this incident took place June 25th, 2024. An officer was conducting a business check at the USA Economy Lodge at 4100 Wendell Drive in Atlanta when he heard a gunshot go off. He proceeded to the front of the business and encountered a witness who was very shaken up. The witness, whose name is Randy Woodruff, said he saw a black male driving a small black SUV discharge a firearm into the air while moving away from the scene. The officer canvassed the area and quickly found a vehicle that matched the description. He made contact with the driver. The driver denied being in the area and denied having a firearm. So the officer went back to the witness, got a better description, and then went and used the flock system to track the defendant's vehicle. He was able to track and determine that he was in the area and then found his location where he drove off. He located his vehicle, pulled the driver over, searched the car, and found a revolver in the car. The state is requesting a $5,000 surety bond in this case. Stay away from the incident location, the USA Economy Lodge Hotel, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond.
All right. PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 64 years old. He's lived in the Atlanta area about 16 years. He is a disabled veteran and has limited funds. We, again, would have no objection to any stay away. I don't believe there's a specific victim here, but given his financial situation, we would be seeking a signature bond through pretrial. And he denied, by the way, he denies the allegations.
All right, I'm going to order $5,000 surety bond. I'm going to order that stay away from that U.S. Econo Lodge on Wendell Drive. No drugs, alcohol, guns, or weapons while on bond. He has a gun, which obviously he does. He needs to turn it over if they don't already have it immediately to the sheriff's department. If he has any other guns or weapons in his possession or home, he needs to turn them over to the sheriff's department. And just make sure you don't go back to that Econo Lodge.
We go to position number 6, Mr. Bloodworth.
24 CR 0041004149F. Quentin Bloodworth charged with 1 count of theft of lost or mislaid property. Pre-trial.
37. 2023 trespass, criminal damage to property, obstruction. On probation, possession of tools, criminal attempt to commit a felony, criminal damage to property, obstruction. It's 24 SC 002063. He just got put on probation for that. Also on probation for shoplifting, felony, 24 SC 002486. On probation from for a previous shoplifting, 20 SC 1744920. Couple of parole violations, one from 2022, one from 2019. 2019 shoplifting conviction, 2012 escape conviction.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this incident took place June 25th, 2024. Around 5 in the morning, officers responded to the Tacos and Tequila Mexican Grill on 650 Ponce de Leon because the alarm was going off. While canvassing the area, the officer heard a loud noise in the back of the restaurant. He went back there and he observed the defendant behind the fence on, I guess there's a deck where people eat outside. He was there. The defendant told the officer that he climbed the fence to sleep on the deck. And the officer searched the defendant and found that he had a brown leather bag on him with a brown wallet. The wallet had multiple credit cards and debit cards belonging to several different victims. DeMarcus Willis, Annie Watson, Jacqueline Escovedo, Catherine Hood, and Matthew Johnson. Your Honor, this defendant has an extensive theft history ranging from 1994 to today. As you heard pretrial state, he's on probation for shoplifting. He's got 5 or 6 prior shoplifting cases. He has a theft by taking in 2008, a theft by receiving in 1996, a theft by deception in 1994, not including his most recent charges. This case does meet the criteria to be a felony, Your Honor. Our office has been in touch with the DA's office and has requested this case be transferred. In the meantime, the state is requesting a $1,500 surety bond on this case, a stay away from the tacos and tequilas, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And Your Honor, I have several victims. I'll just sound for all of them. DeMarcus Willis, Annie Watson, Jacqueline Escovedo, Catherine Hood, or Matthew Johnson. If any of you are on the Zoom and wish to make a statement, please unmute and turn on your camera.
Do we have any victims from this case that are on the Zoom? All right, go ahead, PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 49 years old. He has lived in the area his entire life. He's currently living with a friend, but I think at times he's on the street. He's not working, so it would be very difficult for him to make any kind of surety bond. I understand the history, but we would be asking for we have no objection to a stay away, but given his financial situation, we would be asking for a signature bond through pretrial.
All right, I'm going to order a $1,500 surety bond. With that surety bond, It's definitely a stay away from 650 Ponce, the tacos and tequila restaurant. Do not go back there. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I guess that's it for now.
Thank you.
Next, we go to position number 7, Mr. Brownlee. So you want to roll first?
24 CR 004150G. Robert Brownlee, charged with 1 count of battery, pretrial.
Currently that was 1,500. Brownlee,
Yeah.
27 total, 2020 burglary, 2019 FTA, 2018 probation, 2013 FTA.
Judge, this incident took place August 11th, 2023. Officers responded to a dispute call at 1940 Fisher Road in Atlanta. The victim, James Jones, stated that he was having a conversation with the defendant's girlfriend. She apparently owed him some money. The defendant told his girlfriend not to pay the victim. The parties started fighting, and the defendant struck the victim in the mouth, causing a split lip. Our office has not been in touch with Mr. Jones. The state is requesting, in light of his history, pretrial I didn't hear pretrial mention anything violent, Judge. However, he does have several violent convictions from his past. He has a 2007 aggravated assault conviction, a 2006 aggravated assault conviction, a 2003 aggravated assault conviction, and battery convictions from the 90s. And he also has a 2011 aggravated assault and battery arrest. I can't see the disposition for that one, but in any event, the state's requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with Mr. Jones, a stay away from the incident location, 2 days of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and if the court can sound for Mr. Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones. I don't know what his first name is, but Mr. Jones.
James Jones.
James Jones. All right, PD Cook.
Your Honor, we have no objection to the stay away or no further contact. Again, my client is of limited means. Self-employed, he makes bracelets, but that does not bring in much in the way of funds. He has an eighth grade education. He has lived in the area his entire life, 43 years. And again, we would be seeking a signature bond through pretrial.
All right, gonna order that $2,500 surety bond. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And no further contact with Mr. James Jones. And then the address that was given on Fisher Road. Whose address is that?
I'm not sure, Judge. That's the incident location. I don't have any information about who lives there. Let me see if we have the report yet.
We'll just say,
The report doesn't say. It just states where the incident happened.
okay, well, we'll order stay away and no further contact with Mr. James Jones.
Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, it looks like that's the victim's address, Your Honor. It's showing on the report that the defendant has listed homeless as his address.
Okay. So that $2,500 surety bond will have the stay away from the Fisher Road address and no further contact with the victim, James Jones. All right, that's it.
Next, we can go to position number 8, Mr. Davis.
This is 24 CR 004152Y. Roderick Davis charged at 1 count of battery and a 2nd count of battery against a female who's pregnant. Pre-trial.
43. 2023, battery out of the cab appears to be open. On probation in Fulton, theft by taking battery, ag assault. It's 20 SC 174-616. Got an open case out of the cab, home invasion in the 1st degree. 2 counts of ag assault, terrorist threats. Possession of a firearm during the commission, stalking, possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Possession of a firearm after being convicted, that's the same thing. We got another open case in the cab for battery DV, battery trespass, disorderly conduct. 2018 battery DV, simple battery DV. 2010 ag assault conviction. That's it.
Judge, this incident took place on January 23rd of 2023. Officers responded to 1003 Washington Street in Atlanta. The victim, Bernice Hearn, the officers noted that she had a swollen and bruised eyes. She advised that the two were driving, she and the defendant were driving to the gas station. And on the way back, he, I guess, passed her apartment, pulled into a driveway of another complex, and started beating her with a closed fist. The victim at the time of this incident was 13 weeks pregnant with the defendant's child. However, I did not charge this as family violence because it didn't meet the criteria because they did not live together. The child was not born and they're not married. But I think it's telling that they are in a dating relationship, or at least were at this time. We have not been in touch with her. The warrant in this case, Judge, says that she also had a bloody nose and said that she had a collapsed bridge of her nose. That would elevate this to a felony, Your Honor. The DA's office, however, requires that we show medical records before they will take a case like that. And so our office is in the process of collecting that documentation. But the warrant says that the injuries are very serious, or much more serious than what's listed in the incident report. And of course, you heard pretrial, basically this defendant's entire criminal history is violent crimes. He does have 3 open battery cases. He has an open ag assault case. He's on probation for ag assault. The state's requesting a $5,000 surety bond in this case. That's $2,500 on each count. No further contact with Ms. Hearn, a stay away from the incident location, 2 days of anger awareness, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Ms. Hearn.
All right, Ms. Hearn. Ms. Hearn. I don't think she's on. Go ahead, PD Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, we have no objection to stay away or no further contact. Beyond that, I would leave it in the court's discretion.
All right. For Mr. Davis, I'm going to order that $5,000 surety bond. We're on Davis, right? Yes.
Yes.
$5,000 surety bond. Going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And going to order no further contact with the victim, Ms. Hearn. And was there a stay away?
Yes.
Stay away from her address.
Your Honor,
And yes,
can you repeat the bond amount?
$5,000, $2,500 on each charge. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. Stay away from the incident location. Be 200 yards or more away from Ms. Hearn. Do not contact her. No further contact with her by phone, by email, by third parties. And that will be it for that case.
Next, we go to position number 10, Mr. Gober.
This is 24 CR 004153Y. Timothy Guger, charge of 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
Oh, yeah, first arrest.
All right, state.
Your Honor, this incident occurred March 18th, 2024. Officers responded to 2835 Eleanor Terrace Northwest in reference to a dispute. They made contact with the victim, Minika Smith. She states that she and her boyfriend were arguing. She asked him what was wrong with him. He then rushed her, covered her head with his arms, and she looked up at him and he punched her in the face. The victim had a cut under her left eye. The victim and the defendant used to live together. And Judge, I understand this is his first arrest. However, there was a previous case from 2021 where the defendant threw the victim's television off a banister onto concrete. Unfortunately, he wasn't arrested in that case until this case. So the state had to dismiss that case because it's outside the statute of limitations and no other exception applies. So while this is his first arrest, this really isn't the first violent contact he's had with this victim. So I'd ask the court to take that into consideration when ruling for bond. The state in this case is requesting a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with Ms. Smith, stay away from the incident location, taking complete family violence intervention program, and no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Ms. Smith.
All right, Miss, what is it, Minika or something like that? You said Smith?
Yes, Minika Smith.
Miss Smith, are you on the Zoom? All right, go ahead, P.D. Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, my client is 31 years old. He's lived in the area his entire life. He denies the allegations. This is his first arrest. He has no problem with the stay away or no from the location. He wishes no further contact with the alleged victim. However, we would, given his background, be asking for a signature bond through the jail.
Hi. I know it's his first arrest. It sounds pretty serious. And just want to make sure that he doesn't have any issues. He may have been fortunate or lucky to not have been arrested before. Is he working?
I babysit my youngest. My sister, she's the mailman.
That wasn't a question for you, Mr. Guger. That was for your attorney to answer.
He's not working at the moment. He is looking though, Your Honor.
Said he babysits kids.
I babysit my sister's kids. We're at my mother's house, me and my older sister. My mother, she drives tractor trailers or whatnot, but she's international at this moment. She'll be back this weekend. And I babysit her kids while she mailman. Excuse me.
Who has the kids now? Why are you in jail?
Yesterday when y'all came and got me, we had to ask our neighbor to come and intervene or whatnot.
I'm inclined to want to give a surety bond due to the facts or the allegations of the case.
I didn't punch her, Your Honor. I did not punch her.
What I'm going to do is give it to pretrial, so he'll have to report in and take some classes. So I'm going to order a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial. And I'm going to make it a level 3. And I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. I'm going to order him to take a 2-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I'm going to order him to stay away from Miss Smith, Minika Smith. No further contact with her by any means. 200 yards away. And I don't think there's a stay away, is it, State?
We are requesting one, Judge.
Okay, stay away from the incident locations at her address, I guess.
I believe so.
All right. And I guess that'll be it. Did I say no drugs, weapons, alcohol while on bond?
Yes, sir.
Pepper, that one. Your Honor, position number 9 will be a medical reset. They're currently at grading.
Okay.
We can go to position number 15, Mr. Jackson.
All right, 24 CR 004146E, Corey Jackson, charged with 1 count of simple assault, family violence, pretrial.
11 total. Got an open battery DV, crude in the third. It's 24 CR 000603E. I think it's the same victim. 2016 simple battery DV that was dismissed. 2014 battery DV trespass cruelty dismissed. That's it.
Your Honor, this is a June 24th of 2024 incident date. Where Officer Blackwood was dispatched to 115 Rumson Road Northeast regarding a dispute call for service. Upon arrival, they met with the victim, Miss Yanira Ghani. Ms. Ghani said she was in bed with her child's father, defendant, Mr. Corey Jackson, and he said something clever. She didn't hear what he said, and when she asked him to repeat it, he refused. Ms. Ghani advised that she then said to Mr. Jackson, "That's why you have a expletive." Ms. Ghani noted that Ms. Jackson then pushed her off the bed, and she got up and asked why he pushed her, and he pushed her again. Ms. Ghani said this was not the first time that Mr. Jackson got physical with her, and when the officer did look it up on Mark 43, he did find a history of domestic violence. Your Honor, the state is requesting a $5,000 good bond on this case, no further contact with Yanira Ghani, a stay away from the incident location, FVIP, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And the defendant, Your Honor, has family violence arrest from 2014, 2016, and an open February of 2024 case here under case number 20R 000603E, where the defendant was ordered by Your Honor to have a $5,000 good bond on the charges of battery, family violence, cruelty in the third, and criminal trespass, damage to property. He was also ordered at that time by Your Honor to stay away from the incident location, which is the same incident location with the same victim.
Okay, so he's coming back before me. And I gave him a chance before. Same victim, same location, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. PD Cook?
This is actually my client, Your
Oh,
Honor.
I'm sorry. PD Kim.
Yeah, yes. Well, my client claims that he denies the allegation, and this is a false statement. He feels very betrayed. Anyway, Your Honor, he has no objection to stay away and no further contact with Miss Ghani, as long as he can have third-party transfer for his child. He's been here in Georgia for about 15 years. He does have a part-time job. And Your Honor, we would like to request for a signature on bond through pretrial level 3. He does not have anybody who can bail him out as of now. And I believe that the place is about to be evicted. They have a dispossessory service served on June 17th. So they're not going to be there anymore anyway, Your Honor.
Well, normally when they bring cases back before me, they usually ask for a cash bond. And Yeah, it's the same victim, same everything. I don't know what it's gonna take for Mr. Corey to
Your Honor, the state
understand.
is good with a cash bond on this case.
Yeah, and I would be inclined to do that. I mean, it was just when Miss Williams?
The
Did I-
order was done on February 3rd of 2024, Your Honor. That's
He
when
does.
you signed it.
Right. All right, so I'm going to make this a $10,000 cash bond. And with that $10,000 cash bond, he's gonna stay away from Mrs. Yanira. And I'm not sure how to spell the last name, the victim. Is it Donnie?
Ghani, Ghani.
Okay. He's gonna stay away from her, have no further contact, 200 yards, probably 400 yards. And I'm certainly not going to allow any third-party transfer of any child. I doubt that she would let him have visitation anyway. I don't know if he legitimated this child or not. So I'm not putting that in my order. I'm going to order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And if you have any weapons or guns, you need to turn them over to the sheriff's department immediately. And I guess that'll be it for now. 10,000 cash.
Your Honor, that's extremely high for him. He's going through financial challenges as he's getting dispossessed reactions, Your Honor. Can it be done? 20,000 good bond, Your Honor.
Well, I kind of don't want him to get out to go and wreak havoc on this victim since he continues to do that. And I really get angry when I just give someone a bond in February and then they go violate it and we're back here in June. I'm not for sure what the issues are, but obviously he has a problem. I'd like to do more, to be frank about it, because it just unnerves me when they do that. So you know, the only thing I would think about doing is a $5,000 cash bond.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll do a 5 cash. That's it.
Thank you.
Next, we go to position number 16, Mr. Jones.
24 CR 004154D Clarence Jones charged with 1 count of pedestrian in the roadway, 2nd count willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, pretrial.
2018, he was arrested in Ohio. Felonious assault, abduction, conviction. 2018 probation, 2016 abduction, conviction. I think he's homeless. That's all.
Your Honor, this is a June 2024 incident date where Officer Monheim and Officer King responded to a dispute call in the area of 417 10th Street Northeast in Atlanta. While conducting an investigation into the fight call, they spoke to the caller who gave the defendant's name and birth date and said that it was her boyfriend. She also gave the description at the time that he had dreads, a blue shirt, black pants, and black sneakers. She stated it was only verbal on that day and nothing physical happened. But when the defendant came back, when they ran him, he did have an active warrant out of DeKalb County. They canvassed the area and did find him at 150 in the area of 150 10th Street. And upon approaching, they asked him for his name and birth date, which he refused to give, and began walking away. During this time, he then ran into the street while the light was green for motorists to proceed. The officers then had to chase him. He eventually stopped. He was told several times to turn around and place his hands behind his back, to which he refused to do so. The state recommends a $2,500 good bond, split $500 on the pedestrian and roadway, and the remaining on the obstruction, drugs, alcohol, or weapons, Your Honor.
All right. Is this you, PD Kim? You're on mute.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client has a foreign county hold anyway, Your Honor. He's not going anywhere except DeKalb County. I was wondering if he can get signature on bond and be released to DeKalb County.
Jesse, I didn't hear state or pretrial mention it.
I'm sorry?
I
Your
didn't
Honor?
hear state or pretrial mention the hold, does he?
I believe he does.
He should have one because he had an active warrant out of DeKalb County when he was picked
Okay.
up.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Active warrant. Okay.
Yes. So he has been struggling with his housing, Your Honor. He is homeless, and however, he does have a mailing address. He can use he has an email address, mailing address, and I also give him Q-Link wireless website address so he can get free phone. So that way he can get contact with the court. Your Honor, we would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial. Thank you.
All right. I will give him the $2,500 signature bond to be released to the warrant or the hold in DeKalb. And I will order no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And
Break that bond down, Judge.
oh, I'm sorry, 500 on the pedestrian, the roadway, 2,000 on the willful obstruction. So hopefully DeKalb comes to get him because I'm only releasing him to that hold.
Signature bond through pretrial.
No, jail to be released to DeKalb for the active warrant or the hold.
How much was that?
2,500. That's it.
Next, we go to position number 17, Jones. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat.
This is 24 CR 004158F. Don Shelby Jones, charged at 1 count of willful obstruction of law enforcement.
23 total. Open case out of Superior Court for ag assault. 23 CP 220259. Got another open case sale of marijuana. 24 SC 001-217. 2021 FTA, 2020 probation, 2019 and 17 failure to appear. 2014 burglary, theft by taking from the damage to property conviction.
Your Honor, this is a dual case with, well, not a dual, but it's a codependent case with position 21, Case in Robinson.
Okay.
This is a June 24th incident date where officers were dispatched to a safety check in the area of 3242 Kenilworth Drive in East Point, Georgia. And subsequently the area of Washington and Dobbs Way. They were in search of a burgundy Pontiac with 3 black males in connection with a robbery in Union City. And upon attempting to stop the vehicle near 3072 Polaris Apartments, after observing the driver, Mr. Jones, heading into the complex, the vehicle sped off at a high rate of speed. After observing multiple traffic infractions while continuing to drive recklessly, the car hit the curb, taking down 3 different light poles in the process. Once stopped, the 3 suspects, Stevan Judkin, Kason Robinson, and Don Shelby Jones, with Mr. Jones being the rear driver's side passenger. They all exited the vehicle on foot, running in different directions. Officer Stewart assisted Officer Mosley with the arrest of one, while Sergeant Blaylock apprehended Mr. Don Shelby Jones. Again, this is in connection with a suspected robbery in Union City, Your Honor. It has been sent to the DA's office for review. We just have not gotten an answer back. The state is recommending a $2,500 good bond on this case with no contact with Kason Robinson, as well as no contact with Stevan Judkin, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, Your Honor.
Okay. What was the other name? Kason Robinson, and then what was the other defendant?
The other is Stevon, Stevon, last name Judkin, Judkin.
Okay. All right. Just Attorney McLeod.
Actually, he's
Oh,
my,
no, PD Kim.
yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jones, Your Honor, he has a hold at Lowndes County. I think that's why he
In
was
what county?
Lowndes County,
Lowndes, yeah.
South. Yeah, there's a another county, I guess, that he has a warrant, active warrant. That's why even though he was a passenger in the back, he was arrested along with other people. Your Honor, he has been doing a truck driver for last 7 years, and he does have 4 minor children that he resides with his wife, 2, 4, 3, and 10 years old, and he does take care of them. He graduated from high school, and I would like to request for signature on bond through pretrial, no matter what level Your Honor deemed to find appropriate, as long as it is a signature on bond, that would be great. He has to go to another county anyway, Your Honor. Thanks.
Well, with that history, I'm not sure. I'm going to order a $3,500 surety bond. And with that surety bond, no further contact with Kason Robinson and Stevon Judkin. No further contact with them. I don't know if the state requested a stay away or not. I don't think so. Did you state?
No, Your Honor. This was on the street and they
Right.
got out and ran.
Okay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that's all I ordered at this time. 3,500 surety.
What's that amount again?
3,500 surety. Next.
Position number 21, Robinson.
Okay. Did anything happen to position 20, Deputy?
No. They'll be seen.
I'm sorry?
They'll be seen, Your Honor.
I didn't hear what you
They
said.
coming up. They just going out
Okay.
of order.
Okay. This is position 21, which is Kason Robinson, 24 CR 004162J. Charge of 1 count of willful obstruction of law enforcement officer. Believe I've heard the facts from the state, unless there's anything else to add. Pretrial.
Robinson 17, 2023 probation. 2023 PI NOLO, 2016 probation. 2015 sale of marijuana. Suspended license conviction.
All right, state.
Your Honor, the only difference in the facts in this case, Mr. Kason was the front passenger and he was apprehended by, excuse me, by Officer Mosley. That's the only difference. The state recommends, in this case, a $3,500 good bond, no contact with Don Shelby Jones and Stevan Judkin, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, now we have Attorney McLeod.
Yes, Your Honor. I would be asking the court to consider signature bond for my client. He tells me that he is self-employed, but at the moment he's not making a lot of money, Your Honor. He does fashion designing, he tells me. And he contends that he just ran because he was scared. And that's essentially all he's charged with, is running from the police. That is the That is what has caused him to be charged with obstruction, Your Honor. So based on that, he wasn't charged with robbery, he wasn't charged with anything else. I would ask the court to consider signature bond for him.
And Your Honor, the state would also like to add that there is an open 2023 fleeing and eluding, with also a drug possession and possession of a firearm case as well.
That's the state.
All right. I will give that $3,500 surety bond. With that surety bond, no further contact with John Shelby Jones and Stevon Jutkin. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. 3,500 surety.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
We go to position number 13, Mr. Hambrick.
Okay. 24 CR 004156G. Nicolio Hambrick, charge of 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
$23 total.
I didn't hear
2020
you. 23.
Yes. 2022 possession of hydrocodone, possession of cocaine. Got an open ag assault, 2 counts. Possession of a firearm during the commission, 2 counts. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon. 18 SC 162326. 2019 FTA, 2019 simple battery DV conviction. 2014 ag assault. Possession of a firearm by convicted felon. Possession of a firearm during the commission conviction. 07 battery conviction.
All right.
Judge, this incident took place June 24th, 2024 in East Point on Pineywood Lane. Officer Smith made contact with the defendant. There was essentially the victim's mother called the police. Upon arrival, the officers made contact with the defendant. He stated that him and his fiance were just arguing and nothing violent happened. There's a very unfortunate situation. Their dog was left outside and ended up passing away. So there was a big fight between the defendant and his fiance about that. The mother, however, said that she saw the defendant hit her daughter with a closed fist in the face. The officer did notice that the victim had a bruise underneath her eye. However, the victim wasn't very cooperative with police. She told the police that it was her dog. Our office has been in touch with the victim. She states that she and the defendant have been together for approximately 6 years. They do not live together. And the incident location is the victim's mother's home. She stated that they do not have a DV history. She's not afraid of him. She denied the events in the warrant. She said the defendant never hit her. She said there's no way her mother saw any altercation. The mother did also say that the defendant has been very abusive in the past and has threatened to kill everyone in their family before. The state is requesting, in light of his history, a $2,500 surety bond, no further contact with the victim, a stay away from the incident location, taking complete family violence intervention, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Miss Conwell, I believe she's on the Zoom.
Miss Conwell?
Yes, Gina Conwell.
Okay.
Yes, I'm on.
Do you wish to briefly address the court, Ms. Conwell?
Yes, that's fine. We've
Hold on,
never
hold
had
on,
any.
hold on, hold on, hold on. First of all, you need to turn on your camera. We have to see you and I'll swear you in first.
Okay. Okay, can you see me now?
Yes. Raise your right hand for me.
Okay.
Do you affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Okay, put your hand down for me. 2 questions for you. Do you want to have any further contact with Mr. Hambrick?
Yes.
All right, and are you in fear of Mr. Hambrick?
No, I'm not.
All right, and you all are dating, still dating?
Yes.
Okay. All right, no other questions. Any cross-examination by the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You can mute yourself, Ms. Conwell. All right. PD, who's representing Mr. Hambrick?
I believe it is P Group.
That's my guess, Your
Okay.
Honor.
All right.
We've heard both directly from the alleged victim and then her statements to the police that are just consistent. My client denies the allegations. And he says that in the past, her mom has made false accusations against him. But I think he is 41 years old, lived in the area his entire life. He's a truck driver, gainfully employed, high school graduate, and we would ask the court to weigh heavily the statement of the alleged victim that nothing happened and that her mother could not have seen anything happen. And given that, there should be no stay away, no restriction on further contact, and no FBIP. And we would ask, in this case, for a signature bond. There just isn't any case here, frankly. There just isn't a case. So we would be asking again for the signature bond, preferably through the jail. No restrictions on contact and no FVIP.
All right, this just happened a few days ago. And his history is extensive. So no, I'm not going to give him a signature bond, a $2,500 surety bond. I'm going to order him to have no further contact with this victim right now. There needs to be the ample cooling down period. So he needs to stay away from her 200 yards right now, so we can sort things out and see what's going on. I don't know that a mother would make allegations if they weren't true or partially true. So I'm going to order her to stay away from that.
It wasn't his mother, it was her mother.
I understand. And
Okay.
a caring mother about a daughter might be pointing out some things that people need to maybe
Well,
take a load of. So I'm going to go with that in caution so that I don't have another defendant coming back before me a few months later doing the same actions again. So $2,500 surety bond plus 23 cycles, and he's got possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I think I heard twice. So
And an open ag assault case, Judge.
that's right. And I'm sorry, the open ag assault. So no, he can put his hand down. Surety bond, 2,500. Stay away from the victim, Ms. Conwell. Have no further contact from her. Stay away from the incident location, which I believe is her address.
It's
I'm
the mother's
assuming
address. I'm not
a
sure if
mother's
it's
address
also
if
the
she-
victim's address, but
Yeah,
clearly the mother has some issues. So
Yes, so definitely stay away from there. And no further contact while on bond at this time with Ms. Conwell. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. If you have a gun, which you shouldn't, turn it into the sheriff's department. Okay, Mr. Cook, your client has a question. He's raising his hand.
Yes, Mr. Hamburg, don't say anything about the alleged facts of the case. We don't want to, we're not trying the case. If you have a question about conditions of bond or something of that nature.
I have a question about the bond. I haven't been working, so I don't have any money right now to pay the bond that you're asking. So I was trying to see, could I get a signature bond to get out?
No, not gonna give you a signature bond. No way, not with that history in an open case. No,
I don't,
definitely not a signature bond.
I don't have an open case.
They just read it. You do have an open case. What was that state, the open case we have?
Judge, I heard it from pretrial. There's an open ag assault case.
Yeah,
I don't believe it's with Fulton, but let me check.
I don't think it was.
I don't have any open cases. I'm clear. I ain't got no probation or nothing.
Pretrial.
I'll check. Who is this again?
Hambrick.
This is Hambrick.
Hold on.
That first name, is it Nicolio? So odd first name, but it, would not lend it to too much confusion. But let's make sure.
Probation, nothing. Open basis.
Desian, you got Odyssey up? I don't have it up.
I'm looking. Hold on.
You want me to-
Don't have my record for it. You don't have my record for it. But I ain't got no open activated assault cases or nothing like that.
So I'm showing a simple assault from 2021. I'm showing several felony FTAs. Showing battery. I'm showing an ag assault from 2014. So my apologies, Judge. It looks like he does not have an open ag assault from what I can see.
He does not.
No.
Yeah, hold on for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, pretrial said that, but I'm not seeing one on his GCIC, but he has several cases. Let's see. This is Hambrick.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not my brother.
Yeah, that might be the issue.
Oh, your brother's using your identity?
We had almost the same name,
What's his name?
Nikenjan, and every time we call him, they always get our paperwork mixed up.
So Neki?
No, his name or my name?
What's his name?
Nikenjan, Nkenge.
Mr. Hambrick, you were born December 30th, 1982. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that could help.
Mm-hmm.
I really do need help with that signature part.
Yeah, Judge, I'm not seeing anything that. Oh wait, here we go.
So it's a judicial hold.
Oh yeah,
What they
there's
saw.
18 SC 162326.
Yeah, it's ag assault, 2 counts. Possession of a firearm during the commission, 2 counts, and possession by a convicted felon.
When? 2008?
28, it's 18.
Hold on for a minute.
I beat that though.
Whoa. 2019 judicial hold, 2020 motion for bond. Let me see something.
Yeah, due to the failure to appear warrant issued on October 22nd, 2018. This case is being placed on the court's judicial hold status. So It's still open from what I can see, Judge.
Mhm.
But this is not on his GCIC.
Not me.
Nikoyo Shamir Hambrick.
I haven't caught no charges like that. That's what I'm saying. I need to go get my record pulled because I have no acknowledgement of that. This type.
So this is his or it is not? Are we
I
not
mean,
sure?
it's his name, Your Honor. Is your middle name Shamir?
My mama?
Shamir, is that your middle name?
Oh, that's my middle name, but
And it's got his date of birth.
I can't see that on the case manager. Let me see. Oh, 12/30/1982.
Yeah, I have no acknowledgement of that. That's what I'm saying. That like everything that I had, I beat. Like I have no probation, I have no parole, I have any of that. I'm free. Like I ain't done anything.
Well, you're free with 23 arrest cycles?
No,
And Judge, it looks like there was a request for a probation revocation hearing in this case.
Okay.
I got done with all that though. I did my time. I got all the paperwork showing that I done that time. I got done with all that. No. I don't got no holes.
Yeah, that's the.
I don't have any holes nowhere, right?
Looks like there are no holds. I'm just concerned about the history, whether you beat it or not.
Well, and Your Honor, regardless, it's still showing that it's open, even if it's not open. He had an aggravated assault case from 2018, which is not that long ago. In addition to, he has a
If it would have been a traditional
2019 simple assault case. He's got a 2014 ag assault, a 2013 simple battery. He was
Right.
arrested for kidnapping and battery in 2005 that was dismissed. He has a battery conviction from 2008. I mean, I think his history certainly warrants a surety bond.
I believe so as well, Mr. Hambrick.
If it was just a hold, it would have been it would have been a hold on me through the system and.
Well, I don't just the Ayala factors by the law aren't just because you have holds or not. It's more than that. It's your criminal history. And we look at the history. We just because the cases may be over or closed or you went to trial and beat it or certain the fact of the arrest and the allegation and the number. Very seldom do I go over 5 when it comes to a surety bond or somebody with 23 arrest cycles. That's a lot. And you're 41. So that's about half of your life. You had that many arrests.
I made a change, so that's not me anymore.
The last one was 2022, 2 years ago's arrest for hydrocodone.
Possession of cocaine, possession of hydrocodone, Your Honor.
And that's in 2020. That's 2 years ago.
That wasn't me. I got acquitted for that. I didn't even get charged for that. They throwed all those charges out. That shouldn't even be on my record anymore. It's supposed to have got pulled off my record.
Well, just because it was thrown out, it's still on your record because of the arrest.
Yeah, I know, but it's supposed to the lawyer's supposed to have it withdrawn off my record.
Oh, expunged?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it's not gonna come off his record because the purpose code that we, the state, and everybody use, it'll show up.
Right.
It won't show up for the employer, but it'll show up for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave it at this $2,500 surety bond.
But you can't help me on the signature?
No, not today.
I really need it. I do, Your Honor. I really need it. If I had to take a class, I would. But I need that help.
Well, I just don't, I'm not excited about the allegations, the facts of this case. And in your criminal history. So you'll come back up in a couple of weeks if you haven't made bond.
I'll make the bond. I just be trying to see if I can get some help with the bond so I will be able to get home.
Get some help with it.
Yes, ma'am. Like get a signature bond. Cause I don't have no me. I haven't been working.
Well, it says you're a truck driver. If you still got a CDL,
Yeah,
should
I
be
still
able to
got
work.
yeah, but I ain't been working in 3 weeks.
Mm.
Down. So I can't contact my fiance no more to get no money to get out. So what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, well, she can find a way to put up the bond money
Wow.
without having any contact with you. They usually do that sometimes.
I ain't gonna go against I ain't gonna violate my bond. If you telling me not to have no communication with, I can't do that. That's why I'm trying to get the signature bond so I don't have to have any communication.
Well, that's not my reason for signature bonds.
I know
The
that,
reasons are because of the allegations and the
but can I take some type of classes with the signature bond, please? Is there anything can I take some type of class or counseling for the next 2 weeks? And we do the signature bond that way. I don't have nobody. I ain't got no help and I ain't got nobody I can call on no more. Now my fiance is gone. So I need some type of help, you know.
The only thing I will do is I will lower it to 1,500 for the surety bond. And that's all I'll do today. And let's look at it when you come back around if you haven't, or somebody hasn't bonded you out with the 1,500. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Next, we go to position number 20, Mr. Reed.
But before we move on, Your Honor, on this young man right here, are we changing the bond or are we leaving it the same?
It was 2,500 surety. I made it 1,500 surety.
Okay.
This is James Reed, 24 CR 004161B, charge of 1 count of simple battery family violence, pretrial.
It's 8th arrest, 2022 ag assault, false imprisonment. On probation, for ag assault out of Cobb. Got a 2018 ID theft, fraud, bail jumping, forgery, and the 3rd conviction. 2017 credit card fraud conviction.
Your Honor, this is a March 1st of 2024 incident date. The victim is Miss Cheyenne Bell, who came by the police headquarters to report a domestic dispute. Ms. Bell advised that defendant, her ex-boyfriend, assaulted her while at a friend's apartment, which is at 385 Legacy Drive, Southwest Atlanta. The victim advised while spending the morning at the friend's house, she was awakened by open hand slap in the face by the defendant. She advised that as she was waking up, that the defendant somehow accessed her locked telephone, and he was upset about some photos he found in her phone that he didn't approve of. Victim, out of fear, ran out of the apartment and flagged down a stranger who transported her to APD headquarters to report the incident. Although Investigator Hall noticed Ms. Bell was visibly upset, she did not observe any visible injuries at that time. And the victim also advised that she and the defendant previously lived together in the same home. The state recommends a $2,500 good bond, no further contact with Cheyenne Bell, a stay away from the incident location, completion of FBIP, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And if we could sound for Cheyenne Bell.
All right, Cheyenne Bell. I don't think she's on.
Okay.
And go ahead, PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 32 years old, Your Honor, and he does have a successful business. He does do renovation for the house. He's been doing that for the last 10 years, and they still live together, Your Honor, and he is indeed taking care of her rehabilitation from different drug issues, alcohol, some kind of addiction issues, Your Honor. There's a huge misunderstanding. My client denies the allegation, and we would like to request for signature on bond. That's about it, Your Honor. He does not have any child together with her, so there's no need for third-party transfer. He prefers no further violent contact since he's the one who has to take care of her. However, he has no objection to whatever Your Honor decides to do. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to, again, his history is not great, even though it's only 8, but I will give him a $1,500 surety bond. I'm going to order him to have no further contact with the victim, Cheyenne Bell. Stay away from 3385 Legacy Drive. And I don't know if that's her home or that was a friend's home.
Friend's home,
This
Your Honor.
was the friend's home, Your Honor.
So we need to get her address if we have it. And I don't know, maybe she stays over there and needs to stay away from both addresses, the friend and hers, to make sure that she's going to be safe. I know they have a child together. I don't know if that child's been legitimated or anything, so I'm not going to order any visitation.
No child, Your Honor.
Huh?
No child. They don't have a child together, Your
No
Honor.
child together. Oh, you said no child together. I'm sorry.
Right.
Okay. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. But the biggest thing is to stay away from her 200 yards and have no further contact with Miss Bell. And I don't know why he has his hand up.
Mr. Reed, you have every right to remain silent. It's your constitutional right. You do not want any statement to be used against you, so I strongly recommend you to stay. Would you like to waive your right?
I was just gonna give y'all Cheyenne's real address. That address was my friend's address. Her address is 3 Madrid. It's in Noonan. She's with her mother. But she is in rehab as we speak. But the address to her home is 3 Madrid, Noonan, Georgia.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. That's it. And Miss, who's Miss Muhammad? Are you here for a case? Can't hear you.
Fine. I have no idea why I was asked to join this. But I seen that my great nephew was in your courtroom. So I didn't know if he is the one that told them to contact me.
And what's his name?
His name was CJ, Clarence Jones.
Oh, so we already finished with that case?
You had already finished with them. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, there's nothing that we need from you at this point unless you were just listening in.
Yeah, I was just that y'all sent it to me, so I was just listening in. Thank you.
All right. No
All
worries.
right.
Thank you.
All right. I know you
All right.
guys are done, so thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right, Miss Bridgewater. But welcome aboard, Miss Williams.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Okay, Your Honor, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be July the 9th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $2,000 SOB through the jail. Position 2 is going to that SAP calendar with a total $5,000 good bond. Position 3 is going to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. Position 4, SAP calendar with a $5,000 good bond. Position 5, SAP calendar with a $2,000 good bond. Position 6, SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. Position 7, SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position 8, SAP calendar with a total $5,000 good bond. Position 9 is reset till tomorrow. Position 10 is reset further notice with the $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 11 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $2,000 good bond. 12 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through the jail. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 14 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 15 is going to the SAP calendar with a $5,000 cash bond. 16 is reset further notice with a total $2,500 SOB through the jail. 17 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,500 good bond. 18 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 19 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through the jail.
What's the
20
contact for 19?
19 is no further contact.
Thank you.
20 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,500 good bond. 21 is going to the SAP calendar with a $3,500 good bond. And 22 is reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right,
All
everybody,
right.
have a good one. All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.